Hi, my name is Khadiza, and in this presentation, I'm going to talk about physiological effect of GABA and neuronal excitability, interaction of Valium and alcohol, the role of chloride ion in skeletal muscle, and a channelopathy that affect chloride ion conduction in skeletal muscle. So GABA is short form of gamma aminobutyric acid, and its big role in the body is to reduce the activity of neurons in the brain and central nervous system, which has broad range of effects in our body and mind, such as increased relaxation and reduced stress. GABA is used as food supplement to reduce physiological fatigue. And GABA is the main inhibitory neurotransmitter in the central nervous system of the mature brain. And the key role of GABA is to reduce neuronal excitability all through the nervous system by activating GABA receptor. It transmits chemical messages by the nervous system and the brain, and it's engaged in the regulation of communication among the cells of the brain. So there are two types of GABA receptors in the central nervous system. GABA A receptors is called ionotropic receptors. Second one is GABA B receptor. So when the ionotropic receptors are activated on the postsynaptic membrane, this can cause opening of voltage-gated chloride channels, which is a major extracellular anion. This makes membrane potential negative and stop firing of action potentials, so it cause decrease the neuronal excitability. And for benzodiazepine, they are a depressant drug. That means they slow down the activity of our central nervous systems. And benzodiazepine act on a GABA receptor in the brain. So when GABA binds to its receptor, as I have mentioned in the previous slide, it triggers to opening of chloride ion channels, which allow inward movement of chloride ion through it. An influx of chloride ion can cause hyperpolarization of the neurons and decrease neurotransmission by inhibiting the formation of action potential. As a result, neuronal excitability is decreased. And Valium is a type of benzodiazepine. That means it's a drug and it affects chemicals in our brain, and it is used for muscle relaxation or to reduce anxiety. And Valium and alcohol have both have negative effects in our brain, and when they are used combinedly, they can produce very dangerous effects. Even mixing of alcohol with Valium increases the effects of Valium by itself, and their mixing can cause confusion, disorientation, and dizziness, and so on. So mixing of alcohol and Valium is never a recommendation. Even mixing of these two items can actually lead to brain damage. And chloride ion for skeletal muscles. Chloride ion play very important role in our skeletal muscles. Once skeletal muscles has undergone cross-bridge cycling and contraction has occurred, chloride ion plays a role to repolarize the membrane of the skeletal muscle cells. So the channel responsible for movement of chloride ion is chloride channel ClCN1, which is voltage-gated ion channels and mainly found in the plasma membrane of the skeletal muscles. And the high level of extracellular chloride ion allow for a repolarization which travel through ClCN1 and has the capacity to stop the action potential to fire in the skeletal muscles. As a result, contraction can stop. If there is improper chloride conduction, it can actually lead to health conditions such as myotonia, which is basically muscle stiffness. So these ClCN1 channels are quite essential for the normal excitability of the skeletal muscles. And for my final topic, channelopathy. Channelopathy is a condition that is caused by disturbance in the functioning of either the ion channels or the proteins that are regulating these channels. And one of the channelopathies which affects chloride ion conduction in skeletal muscles is myotonia. It is an indication of a number of diseases in our skeletal muscles, and it's featured by stiffness of muscle due to an electrical hyperexcitability of the membrane of the muscle. So how this hyperexcitability can occur? As a lack of sufficient functional chloride channels, the muscle fiber membrane become hyperexcitable and continues to be electrically active when stimulated for longer period of time than a normal muscle fiber. So this results in prolonged contraction or delayed muscle relaxation of the muscle for voluntary contraction, which cause stiffness of our muscles. So this presentation concludes that GABA can reduce neuronal excitability in the nervous system, and the amalgamation of alcohol and Valium is highly dangerous and never recommended. In contrast, chloride ion changes the membrane of the skeletal muscles, and myotonia is the type of channelopathy that affects the conduction of chloride ion in our skeletal muscles. So that's all for today, and thank you for your time.